Hi everybody. My name is Marlena Cook and I am the facilitator for Colorado 701 in Strasburg. Today I present to you a program that we did back in December of 2025, and it's called Food Noise Plus How to Increase Your Natural GLP-1. GLP-1s have been in the news a lot, and a lot of people actually do use them, more people than you think, because it's such a taboo subject. People don't want to talk that they're on it or they're not on it. But everyone has an opinion. But this is just one way that we can go about it, and what it is and what you can do to naturally increase it. This is taken from two different programs from two different websites and compiled together. Thank you to Carol Altvater for giving me these program tips and where to find them. So the first part of of my program is from the Cleveland Clinic, and it was called "What is Food Noise and How to Quiet It." All right, so it is dinner time, and you have a decision to make. Is it going to be fast food? Uh, it it can be tempting to open the food delivery app and scan the selections of fast food. Should you just order a burger and fries, or should you bake that salmon you have defrosted in the fridge? You may have some version of that back and forth conversation with yourself many times a day. And it's just one example of the internal struggle known as food noise, which is when your thoughts about what to eat become excessive or harmful. So, how do you quiet the food noise in your head? Uh, ec- Endocrinologist Rena Boise, MD, explains what we know about food noise, how it can impact our health, and what we can do to stop it. Well, there's no official definition of food noise. It's something that many of us experience. Food noise is a feeling of continuous hunger, explains Dr. Boyce. You may find it difficult to feel full or satisfied after eating. For example, after you've had a meal, you may instantly start thinking about your next snack or next meal. It's a preoccupation with food, she adds. Unfortunately, this preoccupation can lead to an ingestion of large amounts of calories and eventually lead to obesity and other medical conditions. What causes food noise? Food noise is a vicious cycle that tends to happen when you make poor food choices, such as eating ultra processed foods like donuts, candy, ice cream, and chicken nuggets. The consumption of ultra processed foods seems to activate your hedonic pathway or your reward pathway, explains Dr. Bose. Processed foods gives you a reward, and a reward means that you want to keep going back and continue the consumption of these processed foods. So, what can trigger food noise? Internal hunger cues and hormones can lead you to think about food, but external cues, such as catching a whiff of a freshly baked apple pie or seeing a social media ad for pizza company, can activate a desire to eat. An external visual cue can translate to you possibly acting on the impulse. You'll go ahead and order the pizza, she illustrates. So, why is it an issue? Food noise can make it challenging to maintain a healthy weight. Food noise can make you feel like you are hungry all the time. And if you don't feel food, you'll end up eating much larger meals, notes Dr. Boyce. As a result, you may end up with obesity, and this can also lead to sleep apnea, high blood pressure, and high cholesterol. So, how do you stop food noise? Dr. Bose says it's possible to reduce how food noise impacts your daily life. So, the first one is focus on a healthy diet. Focusing on a healthy diet, that means limiting or avoiding processed foods, starts with meal planning and prepping. If you don't have healthy foods in your home, it's not going to be on your plate, she stresses. Start out by making a game plan of your meals for the week and then shopping for those ingredients. Washing and cutting fruits and vegetables ahead of time can make it easier to cook healthy meals. Another pro move: hide any unhealthy snacks, that big bag of potato chips or package of cookies, so you won't be tempted to reach for them. Oops, my page is stuck together. The second one is eat intentionally. Dr. Bose says she often sees people whose eating habits are all over the place. For example, they might be scared to eat because they think they'll gain weight, or they wait until they're very hungry before they eat. You want to eat on time and eat intentionally. Why is that important? Because food is fuel for the body. If you don't get fuel, your body's metabolic rate will slow down, she explains. If you're eating on time, you're going to feel healthier. You're going to be able to exercise more because you have more energy. Number three is exercise. How often you exercise or what type of exercise you do may be affected by your weight. You may have painful knees or hips or have limited mobility, but it's important to still find ways for you to start building muscle mass, advises Dr. Boyce. An exercise psychologist can help work with you and any limitations to help you move, strengthen your muscle groups, and preserve muscle mass. Reduce stress is the fourth one. There's a good chance you experience some kind of stress in your everyday life, but dealing with all that stress can lead to making poor decisions when it comes to what to eat. When you're dealing with a lot of stress in your life, it becomes very hard to manage your life in a healthy fashion, relates Dr. Bose. Focus on managing your stressors. This can include talking to a psychologist who can help you deal with emotional hunger. Other ways to reduce stress can include listening to music, being in nature, or connecting with others. Number five is prioritize your sleep. Consider how well you're sleeping and how you can make any necessary adjustments to your bedtime routine to help make sure you're getting quality sleep each night. Changes can include meditating before bed, cutting back on what you eat and drink before bed, and keeping electronics out of the bedroom. If you're not getting good quality sleep or restful sleep, it becomes very hard to adopt healthy lifestyles, states Dr. Bose. When you're tired or fatigued, you tend to gravitate toward processed and ultra processed foods. Consider medication. This is probably the hot topic for everybody. You've probably heard of semaglutides such as Ozempic and Wegovy, and how these medications can be used to manage type 2 diabetes and obesity. But these medications can help reduce, but can these medications help reduce food noise? Semaglutide medications tend to activate certain receptors, which promote the release of the hormone GLP-1, explains Dr. Bose. GLP-1 tends to decrease your hunger and decrease your appetite. It allows your brain to have a much better control over your hunger cues. She adds that people who use semaglutides have reported feeling satisfied after eating and notice a reduction on how often they think of food and food cravings. But a word of caution. The reduction of cravings is temporary. If you stop taking semaglutides, your cravings are more than likely to return. That's why Dr. Boyce says it's important to focus on lifestyle changes that help you make smarter choices when it comes to what you eat. Then the second half of the program, it comes from Ohio State University, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, paper written by Candace Pumper, MSRDLD, from July 1st, 2025. It's how to activate GLP-1 naturally. GLP-1 stands for glucagon-like peptide, is a hormone that your small intestine makes after you eat. It helps your body manage blood sugar levels, appetite, and digestion. The hormone has become more well known as GLP-1, anoxed and GLP-1-GIP receptor medications, such as semaglutide, Ozempic, Wegovy, and tirzepatide, Mounjaro, Zepbound, have become prescribed more often. Oops, too far. The GLP-1 works in the body by stimulating insulin release from your pancreas to lower blood sugar. blocking secretion of glucagon, a hormone that raises blood sugar, delaying stomach emptying to control blood sugar and prolong feelings of fullness, decreasing appetite and improving satiety, leading to eating less. So let's dig into the ways that what you eat, how you eat, and other lifestyle factors can influence the stimulation of the GLP-1 in your body. So the ways to naturally stimulate GLP-1s. Foods that stimulate GLP-1 naturally. Certain foods can stimulate the release of GLP-1 or help maintain its activity in the body. So the first one is protein. Protein promotes the release of GLP-1 and makes you feel full and reduce the amount of food you eat. Your best options for protein are lean meats, poultry, fish, seafood, eggs, yogurt, beans, peas, and lentils, nuts, seeds, and soy products. The second one is healthy fats. Eating healthy fats such as monosaturated fats and omega-3s increase GLP-1 release and helps you feel full by slowing down stomach emptying. The best options here are olive oil, avocados, nuts such as walnuts, seeds like chia and flax, fatty fish like salmon, herring, anchovies, mackerel, halibut, trout, sardines, and tuna. The next one is fiber. Fiber is a type of carbohydrate that slows down the absorption of carbohydrates and fat. That leads to a more gradual release of glucose, the sugar, into the bloodstream, triggering the production of GLP-1. Soluble fiber, in particular, is fermented by gut bacteria into short-chain fatty acids like butyrate and may promote secretion of GLP-1. Your best options for your fiber are whole grains such as oats and barley, legumes such as beans, endive, lentils, split peas, vegetables, artichokes, asparagus, Brussels sprouts, carrots, peas, sweet potatoes, fruits such as apples, avocados, oranges, and pears, and seeds such as chia and flax. Your probiotics and fermented foods help keep your gut healthy and can affect how GLP-1 is made and works in your body. Your best options are yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, miso, tempeh. And the last food that can help increase the release of GLP-1 is dark chocolate. Dark chocolate, at least 70% cocoa solids, is rich in flavonols, an antioxidant that support GLP-1 activity. Although a high source of flavonols and minerals, it is best to eat dark chocolate in modest quantities to minimize the risk of weight gain, as it is still high in calories and fat. 1 ounce, or about 28 grams per day, is a standard serving for chocolate. Eating habits that can influence the GLP-1. So your eating patterns. A GLP-1 follows a circadian rhythm with higher levels during the daytime and evening than overnight. Circadian misalignment alters hormonal signaling and, in return, can affect food choices and intake. Related strategies to synchronize circadian rhythms are aimed to eat during daylight hours, altering calorie distribution across the day and eating regularly. Another recommendation includes changes to the meal structure. A helpful tool for achieving this is the plate method. The meal sequence. The order in which you eat a meal can also influence the stimulation of GLP-1 and post-meal insulin and blood sugar responses. Eating protein and/or fat together with a dietary fiber before carbohydrate is most effective at enhancing GLP-1. When they're saying protein and fat together, it's kind of like peanut butter is a protein and a fat. Eating carbohydrates first is less effective. A similar effect is seen with eating vegetables before carbohydrates. Eating in this sequence lowers the post-meal blood sugar levels by increasing insulin secretion and slowing stomach emptying. So what they're saying is eating veggies before your carbohydrates is a good way to go. And then eating your protein with your fiber is also good. Your eating behavior. Eating behavior surrounding a meal can affect your GLP-1 response. Eating slowly leads to more pronounced GLP-1, higher satiety, and lower food intake. However, this effect may be influenced by an individual's metabolic profile and MBI, among other factors. Also, foods consumed with more chews and smaller bites can help increase GLP-1 response and curb subsequent food intake in a meal. There are a variety of actions that you can take to improve your eating behaviors. Too far. Some of these actions that you can take to improve your eating behaviors include: create a calm and distraction-free eating environment while you eat. Be present while eating, focusing on smells, textures, and flavors. Put utensils down after a few bites of food. Use non-dominant hand to eat. Pause throughout the meal. Take smaller bites. Chew each mouthful thoroughly before swallowing. Set a timer for 20 to 30 minutes to help pace yourself. And then what other factors can influence your GLP-1? So the stress. Chronic stress increases cortisol, which impairs GLP-1 release and influences eating behaviors and food intake. Practices such as journaling, gratitude, self-care, spending time in nature, and mind-body exercises, grounding, and getting enough quality sleep can relieve stress as well as improve your physical and mental health. Dietary changes and mindful eating can also make a positive difference. Exercise. Moderate and high-intensity exercise improve GLP-1 level regardless of type of exercise. The combination of aerobic and resistant training can be especially beneficial. Forming an exercise habit is a process that takes time and patience. By finding an activity you enjoy, using cues, and focusing on the intrinsic reward, you can make the process easier. The key is consistency. And once again, sleep quality. GLP-1 response and sleep quality are interrelated. Poor sleep quality can delay peak time of GLP-1 after eating and affect food intake regulations. There are definitely more ways to boost your GLP-1 naturally. To incorporate healthy eating habits into your lifestyle to support GLP-1 function, you can prioritize a variety of nutrient-dense whole foods and fermented options. Establish a regular eating schedule within consistent window each day, ideally 12 hours. For example, breakfast at 7 a.m., dinner before 7 p.m. Aim to eat your first meal within 1 or 2 hours of waking and then eat every 3 to 4 hours. Front-load nutrition earlier in the day or distribute it evenly across the day. Plan and prepare simple, balanced meals and snacks as practical. Change meal sequences by eating protein and vegetables before carbohydrates. Try to keep at least a 2-hour window between your last substantial meal and bedtime. Listen to your body's natural hunger and fullness signals and be present while eating. Pay attention to your senses. Focus on one habit at a time. Ultimately, taking small, consistent actions will lead to a lasting change. There are some advantages to stimulating your GLP-1. Some people talk about the medication offers a therapeutic benefits. As a natural hormone, GLP-1 improves weight loss outcomes only marginally. This is where the controversies come in. So if this is something that you're interested in, please talk to your doctor. Let's see here. And that is it. So this is a time for questions and answers if you are presenting in front of a group. And thank you for joining me in this program. I hope you enjoyed it.